think I'm live. I'm not sure if I'm live. Okay, there we go. Hi, my name is Julie. I am the owner and founder of Lady Faulty. You are either watching this on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel, so thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, um, click for notifications, all of that fun stuff, so you know when all of my videos are going to be coming on. Today we're talking about the Clair series. So we're going through all 8 of the Clairs. This is video number 3. So if you're just seeing this, you can certainly go back and watch the other 2 as well. So far we have covered clairvoyance and clairaudience. And today we're talking about clairsentience. So you can certainly go back and watch those other 2. You don't need to watch them in order. That's fine. You don't need to stop this video and go back and watch the other ones first or anything like that. Just each video is on a different one of the clairs. And so today we're talking about clairsentience. Just going to put a little bit of sage to go for a second here. For anybody that's new, I don't like to light my big bundle. I usually just pull off a leaf and use it. Get more than enough that way than to light the whole entire bundle and be wasteful, because white sage is an endangered plant, so we don't want to waste anything that we don't need to. All right, so today we are talking about clairsentience, and you may have noticed a slight ringing in the video. I reorganized my space here, so everything was kind of like things that I thought I might need to reach and grab to use in the video if I wanted. So I put my singing bowl, it's right here, and apparently just me talking is causing the singing bowl to go ahead and vibrate around. So let me know if it distracts you, because it has a couple times distracted me. But yeah, so we're going to hop right in. I hope everybody's had a good couple of days since I saw you here Wednesday. Today's Friday. But yeah, we're going to be jumping right into Clairsentience, and it's Clairsentience, Clairsentience. And what that is that's clear sensing. So we talked about the clear audio as being hearing, and the clairvoyance as seeing. So this clairsentience is sensing. That's a little bit harder, because it's one of those things that we definitely can second guess ourselves with. So it's kind of that gut feeling. It's your intuition that's guiding you. This is the one that I rely on the most. You know, like I said in the other videos, I do have things that would put me in the clairaudience section, and occasionally things that would put me in the clairvoyance section, but they're definitely not my strong suits. My what I work with the most is clairsentience. And it's, you know, it's not one of the more known ones. The clairaudience and the clairvoyance are the 2 that people usually know, hearing or seeing. And then the rest of the clairs, people kind of really don't really, or I should say, most people don't really know what they are. There's probably a lot of people out there that do, especially if you have them. If you have them, you've probably, you know, Googled or looked into it or whatnot, and you may be a little bit more familiar. So it's your gut feeling, that sixth sense that you get. So yeah, let me just go through some of this. Can be a sudden feeling. Like sometimes I'll just walk into a room and I'm like, something bad happened here, or something bad is happening here, or something bad is going to happen here. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell that part, but usually whatever first comes to mind, however it comes out of my mouth, is usually like, oh, something bad's going to happen here. Okay, and then I don't go, well, is it going to happen or did it happen? That's where you have to trust your gut feeling, your intuition. Like the way that it just comes to me is the way I have to trust that it's going to be. So it can also be walking around and sensing the mood. Now, that's not to be confused with an empath, which we're going to talk about later. Empaths sense moods of other people. So this is more of the energy of the room or of a space than of the people. Very dry in here. So you can walk around a room and kind of sense it. So even if there was no people in the room, and you can kind of walk around and you can kind of feel like, no, this is a nice home. This is a loving home. This is a lot of happiness happens here. Or you could be like, there's a lot of tension in here, kind of thing. So you're feeling it through the vibrations, because everything has a vibration, no matter what it is. And so you're not really picking it up necessarily through the empty space of the room. It's through different things that may be in the room. People who are clairsentients, I kind of seem to have written my notes all over the place here. So just bear with me on that. They avoid things that are not high vibration. So they don't like to be in anything that's drama. If there's people that are always talking about other people, or people that are always causing drama on Facebook, or things like that, just people that, I know people who just are not happy unless they're causing drama all the time. Excuse me. And so those are people that, for myself, that I'm like, I don't want anything to do with this. I don't really care. I don't. And it's weird because I look back and think, like, in high school and stuff, and then even through my 20s and stuff, I didn't really hang out with really any girls. I usually had like one friend that I hung out with. Like I wasn't a person to have like a big group of friends. I know a lot of people and I like a lot of people, but I didn't really hang out, or especially in my 20s. Of course, I had kids, but I didn't have like a big social group of women. Very small, like one friend at a time. And like when that friend would move on and go on, like somewhere along the line, I'd meet up with another friend, and that would be the person I would hang out with. And it was because I don't like drama that I hate to say this, but that a lot of women like to cause. Men don't typically like to cause drama. It's usually more of the women. I'm sorry, that's probably not PC, or that's being stereotypical, but in my opinion, in my experience, that seems to be the case. And, I always kind of thought, well, I'm weird that I don't have like a lot of friends all around, because like you see people that are like, they got a group of like 6 friends that do everything together and stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't do that. But it's because I don't like any kind of drama. And the other thing is negativity. People who trust their intuition don't like a lot of negativity. Now, my birth chart and the way my things are placed, for me personally, a lot of times I don't like to give up. I will keep pushing and pushing and pushing. If there's things that I think really need to get done, which, in this time right now that we have, there's a lot of things that do need somebody to push and push and push and get things done. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But I've also been in groups where there's just so much negativity that I was like, you know what? My time here is not going to accomplish anything, and I'm just backing out because it was just too much negative. The people in the group were just, yeah. So I just backed out of the group. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to partake anymore. I'm not going to come to meetings anymore. I'm not going to be here anymore. Um, and maybe someday when you folks are no longer in the group and new people come in the group, maybe I'll come back. But for that time being, the people in that group were just way too negative. I actually did a video about it. It was like one of my second or third videos that I had done years ago. And you can go back and watch it. But yeah, it was just, they were very negative, and I was just like, I can't be here because it's just too hard on me, and I'm not accomplishing anything. Like, if something's hard on me and I feel like I'm accomplishing something out of it, then I'll stick it out and I'll keep going through with it. But this was just like horrible negativity, and I was not, it was so negative, I was not going to accomplish anything in that group. So like I said, similar to empaths, but not quite the same. So empaths, again, we'll talk about that in another video, but they pick up the emotions of individuals, not of, like, I don't want to say spaces, because I'm not really sure that's the word that would best describe it. But I don't also want to even say it's objects, because I don't want you to be like thinking you can pick up an object and sense what that object, but it could be that you could pick up objects and sense like, oh, this has got to be cleansed, like this needs to be washed or whatever, and things like that. But it's as a whole, I guess, instead of a space or an object, it's as a whole, you can sense what is going on or what has gone on, or sometimes if you're, your intuition is well practiced, maybe even what is going to happen. Clairsentience, and this part is very similar to the other ones that we talked about. Like the intuition, things that come through for you are things of guidance, things of messages, things from all the things we talked about before, whether you want to call them spirits, guides, angels, higher self, the source, gods, goddesses, deities, all the different things. So whatever it is that you want to call them is perfectly fine. For me, I think they're all the one and the same. Ancestors and gods are a little different, obviously, but all the different names for all the different things. So I think whatever you want to call them is perfectly fine. So I typically say spirit team or my guides. That's what I usually call them. In spirit, like I said, when I say spirit team or guides, typically I'm talking about either ancestors who have passed, or deities or gods when I say spirit teams. But spirit team, like I said, could be, if you are more on the Catholic, your spirit team could be ancestors, angels, and God, or Jesus. I'm not here to tell you what they're supposed to be, just different things that they may be called. So this next one is really true for me. People who are very clairsentient may be moody, may be irritable, and may get erratic. And on all honesty, that is very true for me. I can be very moody, I can be very irritable, and I can get a little erratic sometimes. So I'm gonna own it. I don't like that part of me. I don't want to feed into that part of me. I try to work with that part of me and see where that comes from and how that works and stuff. But when you find out there's something in your chart that causes this, and then when you look at like your gift, and this is part of the gift that comes with it and stuff, it kind of all adds up together, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense. So like when I was studying my natal chart and I learned that my Chiron was in my 12th house in retrograde, I'm like, holy shit. No wonder I get a little angry sometimes. And then when I learn about these things, and then I go, oh yeah, moody, irritable, yeah, that's me. So okay, I guess that fits perfect too. And again, when I say those things, it's not a permission slip to be like, okay, well, it's in my natal chart, and now it's on my part of my gift that I get. So that's just me. I'm just moody and irritable and grumpy. And for me, that's not a permission slip to be that way. For me, that is understanding where that comes from, and then trying to work the best I can to be a better person and deal with those things in a better way. Um, one of my things is to be gentle when I speak, which I don't always do. That's the Sagittarius part of me. I can be very blunt. And bold when I talk. People will say, you're so bossy. And I'm like, no, I was just trying to be helpful. I wasn't trying to be bossy, but it comes across that way. But anyway, sidetracking there. But again, it's not a permission slip. It's just understanding and knowing where some of these things come from for you. All right. So the next thing I wrote is, oh, if things seem to be getting too intense, sometimes I can't read my own writing. If things seem to be getting too intense, I have not really experienced that too much, except for that when I was talking about that group. That was very intense for me. I had a really hard time with that. I had to do a lot of different things to work through that, to get rid of that negativity that came from that group. But other than that, I don't tend to, again, jumping all over the place here. Somebody who is a clairsentient, someone who works with intuition and stuff, tends to just kind of know this is not a place I want to be. And whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, we just kind of know, like, this is not a place I really want to be, and we just kind of move on. Or these are not people that I really want to associate with, and we just kind of move on. And so like I said, whether it's subconscious or consciously, we pretty much eliminate things out of our lives that are going to be negative or dramatic or things like that. So things typically shouldn't get too intense for you. But if they do, or if you just want to practice these techniques, that is fine as well. But you can do some self-care things as well to help with this if things do get too intense for you. Anything that's going to be relaxing to you. Now, obviously, something that's relaxing for me may not be relaxing for you, but you can practice doing your bubble vision. And I have a video that talks about that if you want to go back and watch that, about creating your bubble. You can do some visual techniques, and I've talked about that in a video. I'm not sure if I remember which one it was, but we've talked about that, doing some nice easy visualizations. I've actually talked about it in a couple of different videos, but I'm not sure if I have one specifically on that. But the bubble one, if I can go back and find it, I'll put it in the link in the comments for you, so if you want to watch that. So you can do some visualization techniques. You can do some breathing exercises. We've talked about that. So breathing exercises is whatever the number is, and I don't want to spend too much time on this, but whatever the number is. So you could do 2 breaths in, hold for 2 breaths, and then out for 4 breaths. Or you could do 1. So breathe in 1, hold 1, breathe out 2. You could do 3, breathe in 3 seconds, hold for 3 seconds, and then release for 6 seconds. So it's like 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, 3, 3, 6. Some people like the 4, 4, 4, where you breathe in 4, hold 4, release 4. So there is a ton of different kinds of breathing exercises out there that you can find. Again, it's something I've talked about multiple times, but I don't think I have a video just on breathing, but I will go back and I've done a lot of videos, guys. I'm starting to not remember what they all are. You can also work with some shielding techniques, which is similar to the bubble. you know, there's one that's called the mirror technique, where you, if negativity is coming at you, you envision holding a mirror. Um, my mirror is up there now. Envision holding a mirror facing out. So when the energy is coming at you, it's hitting the mirror and basically reflecting back. So those are some shielding visualizations you can do. Um, but you can also just do some actual, like, take a real bubble bath, you know, things like that. It sounds silly, but it is washing it off. When you take a shower or take a bath, it is helping wash away those energies that you don't really want. So we're also always kind of looking for steps to being positive, to changing things for positive, for creating positive things. So I don't really want to go into this too much either, but I did want to mention it. Maybe it's a video down the line somewhere. I'm not really sure. If you guys are interested in it, you can certainly comment and let me know that you're interested, and maybe I can do a video on it. But people that are clairsentients are often also called earth angels, earth souls. They are often called the incarnated. And again, either incarnated angels or incarnated souls. They're often referred to as star people. And back further, they were the wise ones, and sometimes even incarnated elementals. So those are all different things that sometimes that may have been, those are all names of people who were most likely clairsentients. So if someone has said that to you, that you are an earth angel, or an incarnated elemental, which probably you don't hear that one as much anymore. Right now, star people is very popular. Everybody is trying to find out if they're star people or not, and what stars they came from. And again, maybe I can do a video on that if that's something you're interested in, on the different stars that people, you've probably seen it on Facebook. It asks you a bunch of questions, and then it tells you what star you're from. I think it's a little more in depth than that, but yeah, there's basically a bunch of stars that are like anything else. If you like this and do this and are like this and whatnot, you most likely came from this star. If you do this, this, and this, and this, and you like these things, you most likely came from this star. But there's really no, like, for sure to tell you what star you came from, or if you came from a star. The theory is that souls can't just be created, and the reason Earth has more people now than it did before is those souls had to come from somewhere, and the theory is that these souls not only are from Earth, they've come from other star systems. So that is the quick version of that. So anyway, if you're interested in star people and things like that, let me know, and maybe we can work a video in there somewhere. People who are clairsentient, who don't really know they're clear, well, even if they do know, but my own opinion is more that they don't know. But they don't know what is going on. They don't know what's happening, especially when they're feeling, if they're feeling a lot of it coming in, and they're not knowing what's going on, and they're not knowing how to protect themselves or shield themselves or clear themselves, and a lot of things are happening to them and they're not really sure. Same with empaths, but again, we'll talk about that in another video. They tend to turn to alcohol, drugs, food, things of that sort, maybe cigarettes. So they turn to other forms of trying to kind of clear that out for themselves, but not always the most healthiest of things. Um, I do tend to food when I feel angry. I don't tend to eat too much, but pretty much all the other senses that I have, I want to eat. um, so, but yeah, food is definitely my weakness. Um, if you would have asked me in my 20s, I would have told you alcohol. I did a lot of drinking in my 20s, even maybe some in my 30s. Sorry, my necklaces are all messed up here. Um, and then when I got with my husband, and then I started to learn a lot of this stuff was all right around the same time, right around the time I hit 30. Um, my husband and I got together when I turned 30, and I started to learn more about my spirituality and my beliefs and what was going on in 30s. And so, with that, the alcohol, um, I used to smoke like a pack a day. Cigarettes fell off, alcohol fell off, and all of that. And because I learned to understand what was going on, and I was in a happier place as well. But um, it's weird how it kind of really all does tie in together. Um, Sometimes people who are clairsentients can be called touchy or sensitive. Um, People who know me would not say that I was sensitive. They would probably say I was touchy. Um, and that's again where that moody and irritable can come in for me. I do not like that part of me, but I understand now where it comes from. So yeah, clairsentient again is really kind of a hard one to understand because clear audience is when we talked about hearing, and we talked about how it could be hearing outside or inside, but not in your own voice. We talked about clairvoyance is seeing, whether it's actually seeing out or seeing again in like your third eye, in your visual eye. Um, but clairsentient is a really tough one because it's basically just a feeling, a sensing, a knowing, and we so many times just second guess that or brush it off. Um, and I did that for a long time. And now when I think something, I just go with it. And, it would be, this is one of those gifts that so many people would just be like, well, how do you know? And I just know. Well, how do you know? Who told you? No one told me. I just know. Well, you can't just know if no one told you. And it's like, well, I do. I just know. um, so that's kind of it. Like, I'll have somebody visit me and somebody will say, well, who was it? And I'll just say, oh, it was this person. And they're like, well, how do you know if you didn't see them or didn't hear them? And it's like, I just know. I just know that's who it was. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you how. I just can tell you that I know that's who it was. And, in today's world, we want facts. We want a source. We want like something to tell us that it's really real. And it's one of those gifts where I can't tell you I saw a ghost and I knew who it was, or I heard a ghost and knew who it was, a ghost ancestor, whatever you want to call them. I just know. And that's a really hard one because people are like, well, you could just be making it up. And I'm like, you're right, I could just be making it up, but I personally have no time for that. And I don't see where that would really be benefiting me, anybody, but anyway, and making people question me all the time. Why would I, if I was going to make something up, why would it be that? Why would it be that I just know? Why wouldn't, if I was going to make it up, why would I just not say I saw that or heard it? Why would I pick a gift that people question all the time? Um, but yeah, the biggest thing is don't keep second guessing yourself. If you really want to work with your intention or your clairsentience, which again, I believe that everybody has all of these. Some just come easier to other people's. It's just a more natural thing for other people. Some of us have to work at it and hone in on it. Like I think my clairsentience is the gift that I'm meant to work with, but I still have to practice it and I still have to work on it because, again, it's not just I saw somebody or I heard somebody. It's my own intuition who's leading me, and I really have to practice of when I get a thought, when a thought just pops into my head, I have to stop and be like, okay, what was that? Why was that there? What am I supposed to be doing? And it's a simple thing sometimes. Like one day I was smudging and I was like, okay, I'm done. And then this thought in my head just like, no, you're not. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not. And I went and I smudged some more. And I could have just been like, whatever, and just been done and put the smudge down. But, you have to learn to just kind of pay attention to those things. So to finish up, I didn't really talk too much, I guess, as much as I wanted about what it is that Clairsentience do. But it's like I said, it's really hard because it's just a sense, a feeling. I know one person who, when their intuition kind of kicks in, they get chills up their legs. Sometimes when my intuition kicks in, like something is really wanting me to pay attention to something, um, I get chills across the back of my shoulders. Like I was like, those cold chills you get. Um, I get it across my shoulders. So sometimes it could be something like that. So pay attention if you're watching TV or someone's talking and something happens and you get that kind of like, ooh, that just gave me the chills. That could be part of your intuition, asking you to pay attention to something that just happened or it was just said. Um, Again, that like if you walk into a room, I don't know what is blinging, I'm sorry. If you walk into a room, my goodness. If you walk into a room and you just get that like, ooh, I don't want to be here. Again, that's your intuition. That's the clairsentient part of you. Um, so it's really tricky because there's not anybody. I can't be like, oh, if you see a ghost, you're clairvoyant. If you hear something outside your ear that there's no reasoning for, your clairaudient. Clairsentient is a tricky one because, of course, like I would have to, me personally, I have to get the one that is the trickiest, I think, of all of them. But, you know, maybe people who have other gifts say, no, theirs is the trickiest. So I can only go by my own experience and my own opinion. But clairsentient is a very hard one to pinpoint because you really have to just pay attention to whatever is coming to you. And it can come in lots of different ways. It can come in cold chills. It can come in, like for me, it's my own voice. There's not an other voice in my head, which would put you in the clairaudience. It's my own voice, but I don't know. It's not like a conscious thought. It just like comes to me. Like I said that day, I was smudging. I had the smudge bundle out and I was smudging, and I just thought, oh, well, okay, that's good. I'm done. And I went to put the smudge bundle down, and in my head, just as clear as my own voice was, "You're not done." Okay. And, so you have to just pay attention to those things, those random thoughts that just kind of come in your head, and you're like, where the hell did that come from? That's your intuition. And that's something you should pay attention to. And the more you do it, the easier it will become for you. So if you have questions, which you probably will, because like I said, this one's kind of a tricky one for me to explain. And it's just like my own experience when people say, well, how do you know? I'm like, I don't know. I just do. Like, I don't know where it came from. I don't know how I got it. I just know that I know that. Um, and a lot of people don't like that. Like, well, no, did you read it? Did someone tell you that? Did you watch it on TV? And it's like, no, I just know it. I don't know why. And that's really tricky for me because I already have that Sagittarius part of me that can be really bold. And and I've been working on my throat chakra, my communication skills of being more gentle and stuff. So a lot of times when I do say stuff, it comes very as matter of factly and bossy and like I'm right and you're wrong. And so that's not the way I intend things to come across, but it is often the way I do come across to people. And that is not my intention. But anyway, finishing up here, because we've only got a few seconds left here. Crystals that you may want to work with if you would like to work with being more clairsentient. I don't want to say becoming clairsentient because, like I said, I think you already are. It's just whether or not it's one of your more natural gifts or not. And, for me, again, everybody's got their own experience and their own. Some people are going to be like, no, I want all 8 of these and I'm going to practice until I've got it down. Great. Other people may be like, well, I'm clairsentient, but I really want to work more on my clairvoyancy. Again, that's fine. Everybody's different. I'm the one that like clairsentient is coming through for me. That's the one I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. And again, I just know that's the one I'm supposed to be doing. And so that's the one I'm going to focus on and that's the one I'm going to work on. But however you want to do it is perfectly fine. If you are naturally clairvoyant, but you want to practice more of your clairsentience, there's nothing wrong with that. Or if you just want to stick with your clairvoyant and work with just that and practice one thing and get it down, that's fine. If you want to practice all 8 until you've got all 8 down, no right or wrong answer. It's all really what you feel you want to do. But anyway, crystals. Rose quartz is a good one for the compassion. Honey calcite, aragonite, citrine. I love citrine. I love to work with citrine. I have many, many pieces of citrine that I absolutely love. Tiger's eye, regular quartz. I have so much regular quartz. It's one of those things like I keep buying it. It's like, why do I keep buying this? I don't need any more, but I just love it. I just keep buying more quartz. Quartz and citrine are 2 that I buy a lot of them. And then another one you could work with again is the rhodochrosite. And again, that's that pink color, just working on bringing in that compassion for you. If you want to work with some herbs or some oils, so again, you can make some bath salts to do a nice cleansing bath if you want. And mix these in with them. You could do some oils, you could do some perfumes, you could do incense. Like the possibilities are endless. I have even gone, like I've made my own hand sanitizer and I put oils in for different intentions. Body lotion, um, body wash, pretty much anything you can think of. You can put essential oils in your laundry detergent, your dryer balls, um, make sprays and spray the room. I mean, it's really endless the things you could do if you want to bring in these different kinds of things. But herbs and or oils that you may want to work with is lavender, sage, carnation, and hinoki wood. I have to be honest, I underlined that because I have never worked with hinoki wood, so I'm a little interested into seeing what that is. I am a big lover of the Palo Santos, so I really am interested to find out what the hinoki wood is. So I'm going to do my own little research on that and find out some more information on that one. But I'm thinking, and again, my intuition, I'm thinking it's going to be similar to the Palo Santos and that I'm really going to love it. But yeah. So if you hadn't noticed, a lot of the crystals, well, not a lot of the crystals, but some of the crystals, the rose quartz and the rhodochrosite are very compassion loving stones to work with. And I don't know, I'm thinking, again, intuition, I'm thinking that's to help with that, maybe that moody, that irritable part of us that we have. And the citrine and the quartz, quartz is definitely going to be an amplifier. So quartz is always an amplifier. So if you're trying to work with your gifts, quartz is always a good thing to work with because it's going to amplify whatever it is that you're trying to work with. So, and I definitely have lots. I have literally quartz everywhere. I have, this is pieces that I glued together to kind of make like a little, looks like, I wanted it to kind of look like a little ice castle kind of thing. You guys can't see it, but there's one, two, and then there's 1, 2, 3 little ones in the front. Sorry, you can't see it. And then I can't even count all the quartz I have over here. I have this piece. I have this piece. I have these pieces. Like literally, I have quartz. It is all over the place. I have this piece. I could keep going. Like there's quartz everywhere in my house. And again, it's one of those ones like, why do I keep buying this? But I just know that I'm supposed to. So, but anyway, just back to the herbs real quick. I did kind of also notice in the herbs that, lavender again is that to soothe and calm and relax us. So again, it's just kind of helping to ease that any kind of negativity that may be coming in for us. And sage is the clearing. So again, it's going to be clearing energies that we don't really want around us. So, it's to me, these crystals may not necessarily be, in my own opinion, things that you may want to work with to enhance. The quartz would definitely be. But I'm thinking the rose quartz and the rhodochrosite are more things like if you've got this gift and you're feeling heavy from it, maybe the rose quartz and the rhodochrosite, and then the sage and the lavender would be really good for you to work with if you're feeling like it's too much, like it's getting too heavy for you. And then if you're working more towards enhancing it, that might be where you might want to work with some citrine quartz and those things. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for today. I will see you guys all on Monday morning for our normally weekly forecast. Next week, I don't have my calendar up, but I think next week you'll see me 3 times again. You're going to see me Monday for forecast. I believe you're going to see me Tuesday or Wednesday, I can't remember right now, for full moon. And then on Thursday again for our next Clair in the series. So you can see me 3 times next week. So, all right, I am off to my muggle job to get muggle money to pay muggle bills. And as always, remember to be kind. Your kindness is not only going to improve your day, which it will, it's going to improve somebody else's day, and it potentially could change somebody's life for the better. And it doesn't cost us anything. So lots of love. Thanks, guys. Bye.